weather is here, and we are under a winter storm warning. And if I didn't have to go out in it today, I wouldn't. I have a doctor's appointment. And this is not great because it's really hitting during the rush hour, and everybody's going to be rushing home. And it's the first real winter storm of the season, and everybody wants to drive like it's sunny and 80 outside. My phones on the pulse point have been pinging left and right, all auto accidents. And it's pretty slick. Hope I didn't wait too long on my leaving the house. I didn't factor in the weather either. Bad of me. But, today surprisingly happened to be the day that the two Hogspot PTZ cameras I ordered came in, and so I took the time that I didn't have, unwrapped them, and put them on the charger. Hopefully we don't have any power outages, because you're supposed to leave things on the charger, let them charge for at least 24 hours and not interrupt them. But I don't know if that's so true anymore with the newer batteries. NiCad batteries, you had to give them a good charge. Otherwise, if you interrupted the charge when you first got it, if it charged at 70%, then that would become the new 100%. NiCad batteries are really dumb. And I don't even know if that's so true with NiCads anymore, but everything is lithium. And there's something going on up here. I don't think it's an accident. I think it's snowplows. Which my Google's is not updated to tell me that there's a slowdown here, but then, it maybe just hasn't had the chance to update yet. According to this, we'll make it, but stupid me and my poor impulse control. I left it to the last second. Didn't heed the weather like we tell everybody to do. And the traffic seems to be flowing all right so far. I mean, this is getting into the rush hour because I'm sure everybody's like leaving early. The wise people probably are, if they can. Not everybody can. And I hope that people just take it easy to get home. If you rush, you might not make it. This car is all-wheel drive. My wife's car is all-wheel drive. Hopefully that helps us. Although, looking back, I used to deal with it in my front-wheel drive Honda Odyssey. And I'm trying to remember. I think it had some form of traction control, computerized assisted traction control, whatever that is. But I don't know. There's back in 2000. That was the year of the Honda Odyssey, which still exists. My dad has it. But back in the year 2000, you had two levels of trim on the Honda Odyssey, and I had the lower level, the one that didn't have the roof racks and the fancy smancy wheels, and I also think it didn't have the traction control. And I tell you, that Honda Odyssey was a great car. Is a great car. It still exists. And I think if I could ever find that make and model with low miles, a low miles example of that, that would be great, but we don't need another car. Anyway, we're coming up on Briar Cliffy, and this area here is got a pretty steep hill, and it's telling me to get off here at Briar Cliffy. So we won't see the steep hill on 169, but it's still pretty steep around here. And then, of course, as I told my wife when she was learning how to drive, and she's still learning how to drive, I can say that. Be careful on the ramps. The ramps are probably one of the biggest hazards going. They often don't get treated the way the highways do, and they can be really, really slick. So when you exit, try and exit not at speed like you normally would, but exit. Don't slow down to a stop and then exit. You can cause a pile up. But take it very, very sleazy. Make sure your foot is close to the brake as possible, because I'm riding the brake now. And if you have anti-lock brakes, which I think almost everyone has these days, if your car starts to slip, you'll feel that kind of like your brakes are grinding. They used to say in cars that didn't have anti-lock brakes that you have to pump the brakes to keep your wheels from slipping. But with anti-lock brakes, the anti-lock system does that for you, so you have to push on the brakes pretty much as hard as you can until the car stops making that grinding, shuddering motion. And a lot of people, when they're not used to that, even experienced drivers, they feel that in there, and they want to back off. Right, I have to look at my GPS, and I think I'm in the wrong lane. No, I'm not. I hate these things that have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, I guess that's why they have a roundabout here, but they're like 5 roads coming to it. I hope when I get there they don't say, "Oh, well, you didn't read our email. You're supposed to have somebody with you because you're going to have anesthesia for this procedure." Cool. I hate people that think that a text or an email is a form of communication. It really isn't. If it's an important message, you need to communicate directly in person. Alright, well, we have made it, and it wasn't very far from the house, and that's why I'm not super duper uptight about this. So we're here, we're queer, get used to it. The missus wanted me to stop on the way home and get some bread, mostly.